السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم في برنامج نيوكاسل مع وليد وديف. الليلة تعرف أكثر، سلسلة تعرف أكثر على نيوكاسل مع الشيخ ديف. Welcome, Dave. Are you ready?
Hi, Pinar. You okay? How's life been since Eid? Are you
Well, actually,
enjoying?
yes, and actually we're still in Eid, by the way.
Are you still in
And
Eid? I thought
yes,
whole Eid ended yesterday.
no, it's 3 days. I think today is the
All
third.
right, but it just
But
says no.
it's yeah, it's like
No, we don't know the ins and outs of Eid. Just it said that to us it says that Eid started at on the second or the first at such and such a time, and then it ended on the day following at such and such a time.
it's
The holiday.
officially we have 5 days off.
5 days.
Yeah, so you can say it's 5 days. Dave, are you excited about the game after 55 minutes, Manchester City and Real Madrid in semi-final of Champions League?
No, not really. I'm not a big fan of either Liverpool or Man City, but I think if you look at where Man City are now, it's where we hope to be in 5 or 6 years' time. So if Man City qualify for the Champions League final, which I expect them to do so, I think they've got much more abilities than what Real Madrid have. I think if it comes down to it, I'd like to see Man City go on and win the title. I think they're a better footballing team than Liverpool. Liverpool are they're not as established as well as Man City are. But I think if you look back 5-6 years to where Man City were, where they are now, it's just a carbon copy of what we want to do and where we want to be. So this could be us in 2027. You know, we could be challenging for the Champions League final against Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Al Hilal. We could be the top team in the world. You know what I mean?
Actually, Al Hilal is not doing good now.
Are they not?
Not very much. When you achieve a lot of, you won the Champions League and the Saudi League before, and play in the World Cup and go to the semi-final. So it's like a drop. Usually, when you go to the highest thing, it's been just a drop. But I think they will be okay next season. So, do you think Eddie Howe will watch the game? I know you are not watching, but what do you think if Eddie Howe will watch the game?
I think he will. He's a football manager. He'll want to see what Man City have got to offer. I think all the players will watch it as well. But you've got to look at the fact is he going to learn anything from the game before Sunday's game? I doubt it. I don't think he will. I think the fact is that the way Man City will play tonight will be completely different way to the way they play on Sunday against us. So I don't think he'll learn anything from it, and he should know the players well by now. So I don't think I learn anything from that game. But as a football fan, I think yes, you'll be watching it. I think a lot of people will. I'll not be watching it because I don't subscribe to BT Sport in the UK. I don't think as long as I'd like to see two British clubs contest in the final, just to prove to the rest of Europe how strong English football actually is. That's what I want to see. So
I don't know. I expect Real Madrid to win tonight for many reasons. Yeah, not because I wish if City win, as I think Guardiola deserves at least a second chance to play the final. But I have a feeling, you know the corruption going on with the world in football, and I think they just UEFA want to satisfy maybe want to make Super League club happy, especially Real Madrid and Florentino Perez. I'm not going to say they are going to cheat, but sometimes these equal games, the referee really could help in somehow shifting or putting maybe the other players under pressure, and maybe with a yellow card and stuff. It's you have a lot of control if you are a referee. What do you think of this opinion?
Well, yeah, the referees do have a lot of input and a lot of effect on the game, but to get a team who were part of the European Super League and who yet still disagree that it's all over. There's them, there's Barcelona, and there's Juventus who still seem to think the European Super League will go ahead. It might in 5 years' time, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. But they have to acknowledge that football belongs to the fans. Football doesn't belong to the money men. Look at the state Chelsea's in. Chelsea are on a hell of a state because Roman Abramovich now wants his loans back. He wants all that money back. Chelsea in the next 10 days could be broke. Chelsea could be finished. So let's not look at the teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona and give them the chance to go and play forward. UEFA won't want anybody in that final who doesn't deserve to be there. And I think Man City have got too much for Real Madrid. I think last week, was a one-off. I think, for the game to end 4-3, I just don't think Man City were on that game as well as what they expected to be. And they at one point were 4-1 up, and then if they hadn't scored that second one and third one, so it became 4-3, then I don't think Real Madrid would be even looking to be in this game tonight, but they are. But I still think Man City have got too much in the quality of the players they have for Real Madrid to compete. I don't think Real Madrid or Barcelona or anything like they used to be from years ago.
Dave, we heard, and I asked you this before in Celebration Show, we hear Eddie Howe statement or after the game loss against Liverpool, he did kind, maybe straightforward, blame the team when he said the players fight for every second of the game. And before that, when we lost against Tottenham, he did indirect remark when he said we have to go to the basics with the players. So excuses of Eddie Howe. What do you think what do you think this will lead to with City coming on?
It's not excuses, وليد. I think he was right in what he said. I mean, we discussed this with Steve Hasty the other night. I think that certain players were not on their normal game. There's certainly, whether it's ASM, whether it was Almiron, they just weren't at their normal levels against Liverpool. Part of that was the way Liverpool played with. Liverpool played Newcastle a completely different way to what the other teams have played with. And I think that's what the problem was. And I think Eddie Howe was right in what he said, that we weren't on our best game. The game before that, he said that we had to go back to basics. And we did. We did go back to basics. And, you can't expect ASM, Bruno, them to be always perfect. It's not going to happen. But it just happened to be that they turned in one of the less productive displays against Liverpool than if it was against Burnley, Watford, anybody else, Chelsea. At Chelsea we got beat off Chelsea 1-0, but the team were, they were the better team on the park. We got beat by a refereeing decision. Player should have been sent off. The player scored the goal. So Eddie's right. Some of those players, I think they were overawed by the team they were playing against. I think they were a bit shell-shocked that they were playing against some of the, supposedly best players in the English league.
Shar action that or interfering with the player. Do you think, when they replay it, a lot of experts says it's possibly it's not a foul. But what do you think? And do you think Shar act mistakenly in front, and which the referee was very close, and it obviously Milner wasn't intent to hit Shar in first place.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you look back at it, Milner won the ball, but the fact he came in from the side and he took Shaw out as well, it's a foul. Yes, he got the ball first, but he took the man as well. If he takes the man as well, it's a foul. But look, they're Premier League referees. They get paid to make those decisions. But they've been making decisions wrong all season. Not just in this game, but in lots of games. Our Chelsea game, the decisions they got wrong in that game.
Speaking of Chelsea, we just hear that Lambert will get fined because he also blamed the referees.
Yeah.
With Liverpool also.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Is it just for title race? They want to keep it until the end.
You might be right. I don't want to say that. You know what I mean? But you might be right.
You're afraid to be fined as well? Yeah.
But one of my good friends, one of my friends is Clive Oliver. Clive Oliver is Michael Oliver's dad, and Michael Oliver is probably the best referee in the Premier League at the moment. But even Clive and Michael will think, not so much. I can't say for Michael, but certainly for Clive, they were like dodgy decision. It could have gone one way or the other. It happened. It's in the past. We have to move on. But referees are have made far too many mistakes this season. The Premier League has been a good season in a way because, we've come back after COVID, but referees and lines people have actually spoilt the game as much as what they've actually improved it. Last night in particular with the Nottingham Forest Bournemouth game. That game there was refereed by Premiership referees and linesmen because it was such a high game that they put the Premiership referees in charge. The fact is, they made too many wrong decisions on decisions that would normally have been picked up in the Championship, but because the referees in the Premiership, those decisions were made wrongly apparently. So Nottingham Forest should have had a penalty in the first, but it was ruled out because the Premiership referee was said it wasn't. But then the Premiership referee went into the Nottingham Forest dressing room at the end of the game and said, "Yes, it should have been a penalty. I apologise." That's not going to make it better for Nottingham Forest. But it's again Premiership referees and Premiership Premier League. Sorry, you don't know Premiership, but Premier League referees and Premier League linesmen.
No, I understand that.
Make too many bad decisions. Next season, it's got to get better. It has to get better. They can't keep making mistakes. You know,
why we didn't have any mistake for our sake?
Oh, I can't honestly answer. The fact is, the refereeing decision at Chelsea, you know, not to send, was it Havertz off, and he scored the goal, and you know, decisions like that, you know, where you know, it's, yeah, I totally agree with Nelly. What they're saying there is that Premier League referees are shocking, and we've had our fair share of bad decisions this year. Really bad decisions. We've had the rub of a couple of decisions in our favour, but like I said, we've been robbed of so many points by VAR. You know, we could have been higher up the league than where we are if it hadn't been for VAR. So no, let's not go there. Let's not go there because.
Okay, just I wanted your opinion.
We'll both get fined.
Okay, right. So
I can't afford it.
They've City game. Let's talk a bit about City. So your expectation. Do you think Eddie Howe now maybe reach? You know, because we have City, Arsenal, then Burnley. So we want to do a good or have a good result against the big teams. So what do you think Eddie Howe will do? And you know that City are a very strong team, maybe top 3 team in the world, and you know that the title race still going on. You know, they wanted to be in maybe last game. So how he will do, you know, with all of that? And are you happy with his lineup, first place as well?
I think, you know, with City playing tonight against Real Madrid, it depends how they come away from Real Madrid. Do they pick up any injuries? Do they pick up any sort of anything really? It could be injuries, it could be tiredness, because it could be a good chance this game goes to extra time and, you know, penalties and stuff like that. If it gets that far, how are Man City going to feel? Knowing fine well they go into a game against Newcastle, who are playing quite well on Sunday, that might affect their chances of winning the title. It's all going to be mental. It's all going to be up here. You know what I mean? You know, it tonight that they can see the chance of getting into the Champions League final, but at what expense? You know, do they pick up a lot of injuries? Do they get through the final, or do they get beat tonight, and then it affects them mentally for Sunday's game, where they're feeling down and they've missed the chance? So, or are they going to feel the win tonight? They're going to be high as kite. They're going to be on their game on Sunday, one way or the other. So I can't predict how Sunday could go. All I can hope for is that we give a good account of ourselves based on our current form. We play better than we did against Liverpool. We play as well as what we've done to get all those games where we've actually won those games, where we've got the points to keep us safe. So Man City on Sunday, I don't like saying it, but I think we'll come away with a defeat. I hate saying we'll ever get beaten, but I can't see any other way.
Why it seems, and maybe also I asked this question before, and when start the game Liverpool, and I hope this will disappear against City. We start like we want to. We are the one who in racing title. We are so paranoid. We are so nervous. Not like Liverpool, who play Liverpool who play counter attack. Why is that? Is it Is it too much pressure from Eddie Howe? Is it? What do you expect?
I think for the first, against Liverpool, for the first 15, 20 minutes, we were at them. We were in their faces. We were close to them. We closed them down. We got to the ball first. We pushed them backwards. It's only when that fitness level dropped off, you kind of keep that sort of chasing round for 90 minutes. And then we give Henderson as much room as he wanted on the ball. If we possibly closed him down or kicked him rather hard, then we might have actually got more out of the game. I think Henderson was the key player for Liverpool. I think on Sunday the key player is going to be De Bruyne. It's going to be De Bruyne. It's going to be David Silva. Don't give them the room. Let's get at them two on Sunday, and who knows where we might be. Man City aren't a bad team. Man City are a good team all round. But they play football. They play football round you, where Liverpool sit back and they play the ball off to one side, they play it back, they come back, play it off. Man City play the ball around you, and I think we could be chasing shadows on Sunday. But it all comes down to how the result goes tonight.
I think I can say I did so. Pep Guardiola improve, or maybe his beliefs. He changed of some of his beliefs. He have too much ego for a coach, and I think he's a bit going a bit down regarding his ego, and he did some changes. We noticed that he have Alvarez from Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
The player we was wishing before, if you remember, in transparency to have him, and also he get Haaland. So he really went for strikers. So so I expect now. He seemed that he changed, and especially after that defeat of Chelsea final of Champions League. Mm-hmm. So I expect to see different City tonight.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I agree there will be a different City tonight. And yeah, Guardiola, he has got a very strong personality. And he has changed that. And he has changed the way Man City play football in certain parts of this season. Sometimes when I've watched them, they've been quite boring. Slow build-up. It's too slow sometimes. I think back to when he was manager of Barcelona and how the same type of football, the ticky-tacky football, was much faster, much quicker. Fair enough, they had Messi. And Messi was such an iconic player. That he could get that system to work. Has he got that same sort of system at Man City? I think 2 seasons ago he did. But I think De Bruyne, with his injuries he's had this last couple of seasons, and the fact that some of his best players have moved on, I don't think he's had it as well as what he thought he could, what he expected. So, yeah, he's changed things. And I think he plays more of his game towards the English Premier League style of football than what he did when he was at Barcelona or with Bayern Munich. But
yeah, he did a mistake.
Yeah, he still plays an exciting game, and that's what I can't move away from. I like the way Man City play. I like the way that they play football. They don't try to kill a game. They play football.
Yeah.
And they allow other teams to play football. And the fact is, on Sunday, they're going to allow us to play football. We've got the players who can, if on their game, who can hurt them. We've got the Miggy, we've got the Brunos, we've got the Alan San Maximans, we've got the players who can hurt Man City if they're not on their game and we are on ours.
I love it when he play defense against Simone. He teach him a lesson. Okay, you want to defense? Here, look at me, I'm defending. That's the part when I say they grown up and he improve. Also, he did a funny mistake in conference. He said, we're going to win the title of Champions League again. He still maybe his heart in Barcelona.
Yeah, well, of course. It is going to be, you know what I mean?
Neil, here's an interesting point. How can Burnley defeat, not just Burnley, many teams, beat strong top teams, while we can't even try? Newcastle players must believe more in themselves. And really, I think this is maybe need a player with different mentality.
Wait, the thing is, where you've got to look at it, right? A lot of people still see Newcastle as a big team, you know. So a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of coaches actually build their teams up to play against Newcastle. The lesser type of team like Burnley or Norwich or what have you, they're not thought of it as a threat. Newcastle are still considered a threat. Even Klopp said on Sunday, he thought the atmosphere at St. James's Park, you know, was amazing. You know, and he knew that for him to get a result against Newcastle, knowing Newcastle that they've got the fans behind them, you quieten the fans down, you quieten the club down, then you've got a chance of winning. A lot of clubs still see us as a big football team, and the fact that we can attract 52,000 or 52,250 people to a football match, you know, it's a lot different when they're playing teams like Burnley, because it's Burnley or Norwich or Watford. They get surprised. They get surprised that they can raise their game against them. And sometimes that can work in their favour, you know, and Liverpool's the can get beat and Chelsea's can get beat. Simply because a mentality, expecting that those teams are lower in the division, are lower in style, lower in class, that they're not going to be a problem. Whereas Newcastle...
This is interesting point by Dave. طبعا ديف يعني يقصد انه الفرق تلعب مع نيوكاسل، خصوصا الفرق الكبيره تلعب مع نيوكاسل بتركيز اكبر، لانه في خوف او في حذر زايد على نيوكاسل عكس باقي الفرق الثانيه. This is a very interesting, Dave. Another subject, of course, we all hear and see ladies' game against Alnwick City. And have you attended the game, Dave?
I didn't go to the game, but the thing is, this is what I'm harking back to what we've just discussed. The fact that Newcastle can attract 22,500 supporters to what is classed as a 4th division game against Alnwick Town. Now, after a defeat as well, after a defeat of Liverpool. Yeah, after a defeat against Liverpool. The fact is that 22,000 people turned up to watch that game. You know, that is amazing. But that, again, just goes to prove the sort of attraction Newcastle have, whether it's the men's game or whether it's now the women's game. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, like I said, the teams like Burnley and Watford don't have. Newcastle still have this big thing around them that we are a big, big club. And even our women's team will be a big, big club in years to come.
I wish in coming days, Saudi women team play against Newcastle women team, and I think it's going to be a great event.
Yeah. No, you know, that's Newcastle women's team are up and coming. They've got the backing of Amanda. She was there. Major was there. They've got the backing of the owners. They didn't have the backing under Mike Ashley, but they have now. Next season, they should be favourites for promotion next season.
Can they sign the international players?
They can sign players, but I'm not too sure about international. But I don't think they'll attract international players.
No, I mean women team.
Yeah,
we have great Saudi women players.
Yeah. So let's bring some of the Saudi women across. Let them play for Newcastle.
Yeah, I wish if this happens soon.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're right. If there's the Saudi national team have got a lot of good women players playing for them, then bring them across. Give them a chance to play at Newcastle. Give them that opportunity, because they're going to be in the fourth tier, the fourth division, as it were, of the English Women's League. Now, it's going to take something rather, I can't say unique, but it's going to take something of them to next season. They'll be favourites for promotion because they finished second this year behind Liverpool. Liverpool got a good women's football team. Next year, I think the women's game will take off. If they won't attract 22,000 crowds every game, but the women's game is only going to get better in Newcastle. Certainly with the backing of Amanda and my dad, they'll get better. And
I think it will gonna improve, not just to play a game at St. James Park, and that's it. I think this improvement and development will go on.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the fact is that they play a lot of their games at Little Benton, where the under 23s play, and they'll come good. Honestly, they'll come good. And next year, I think you can see they'll be favourites for promotion. With a bit of investment, they'll sign some players from the other female teams in the UK, and I think they'll prove themselves. They'll prove themselves worthy. And who knows? In 3 years' time, they may be playing in the Women's Super League. They'll replace. They might replace a lot of the teams up there at the moment, but I certainly think we've got a lot to be hopeful for. Let's say.
Hopefully, Dave. طبعا الأسئلة question will come back to question at the end of the show. الأسئلة بنخليها آخر البث. Dave, before I ask you, okay, we'll talk about the latest, the rumors, the transfer, as we have soon to be tuned soon, and I'm very excited for it. So before I open my subjects on this part, any rumors you hear these 2 days, or the word in street regarding Newcastle, what they are talking about regarding transfer or other stuff?
No, the only thing we've heard so far in the last couple of days is that one of the backroom staff is changed. They're bringing in some guy from Blackburn Rovers who will.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. So at the moment, that yes, again we've got all the rumours left, right, and centre of the same players beforehand, Darwin Núñez, and all that. A lot of people are getting carried away. The fact is because we were talking about Darwin Núñez. Who do we think?
Núñez got offer, as per sources, 80 million from Manchester United. Do you think this is solid?
Yeah, I think it will be. Because Man United are in a rebuilding situation. So yes, I think there's a good chance that Man City will be one of those teams who will be looking to sign Núñez. But then again, there's a lot of players out there, and there's. Yesterday the rumor, one of the rumors yesterday was that Jesse Lingard at Man United was going to sign for Newcastle. and he wanted to come to Newcastle. The counter argument today is that Erik ten Hag has told Jesse Lingard he doesn't want him to leave. You know,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
But this is what I'm saying. This is the stories over and over and over again. Yes, he's coming. No, he's not. Yes, he's coming. No, he's not. This is why we haven't got to play too much store by what's being discussed in the press about who we're signing and who we're not signing. Because you can't move from one day, whereas Lingard is saying, I want to go to Newcastle. I want to sign for Newcastle. I want to play there. That's where I want to go. Me, personally, Lingard can get on the number 10 bus and get away because I don't want him. I don't want Lingard. He didn't want to come in January. He says he did, but he didn't do enough to make sure he did. You know, and
Okay.
to me, that he now says he wants to come to Newcastle because he doesn't see a future. He doesn't see his future at Man United. So where does he see his future? Does he honestly see his future at West Ham? I don't think so. I don't think West Ham would look at him now and think he's part of our plans. We've got to be the same way. We've got to turn around and think, is Jesse Lingard really part of our plans?
Yes, we need English. We need English player to play for national team.
But if you're talking about taking a player from Man United, a player who's, you know, I would take Marcus Rashford ahead of him. No doubts.
You prefer Rashford?
Yes, I would prefer Rashford against
Rashford. Play.
He's not playing.
Bad.
He's playing bad.
Yeah, but Lingard at least.
That's all a player, mate. He's not. He hasn't had the support. He hasn't had the support of what he was getting under Solskjaer. He's not getting that same sort of support under I've forgotten his name. He's okay. He was okay on Solskjaer. It's under this new guy that he's not. He hasn't really performed because he's not being played in the positions that he was used to. So yeah, I would go for Rashford before I went for Lingard. You know,
but it seems it's easy transfer, free transfer. The player want to come to Newcastle. Newcastle want him in January. So these things seem it's easy transfer.
No,
and beside the Betfair betting company, they said 2-1 fair for his transfer. All these indicate that he's coming.
No.
Okay.
No, I think you know.
We'll see. We'll see the soon to be soon. We'll see that.
No, I think honestly, Lingard had his chance in January, and he would only have been temporary. He would only have been here temporarily. You know, once we decide where we're going to be next season, it was all about keeping us in the Premiership, in the Premier League. We're in the Premier League next season, you know, barring absolute disaster.
Okay, so we'll move from Lingard now. There's many names, so I will just say the names. Tell me your opinion and what you have heard. Lukaku. That's enough, mate. Okay, Patrick Cech.
Who?
Patrick Cech, the Czechian player, striker for Bayer Leverkusen. Patrick Cech. He did great in the Euros and with the German league.
I don't know about that one.
All right.
I don't know about him. Where is he playing at the moment? He's playing at
Bayer Leverkusen.
Bayer Leverkusen. Is that not the same player? Who's it? Oh no, that's Sheik, isn't it? Sheik. Sheik. He's at Leeds.
Sheik.
He's at Leeds.
No. I'm talking about Bayer Leverkusen.
All right.
I think there is strong sources that he might. Newcastle are interested. We'll see. Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
What?
If Everton get relegated, definitely. Definitely.
Newcastle
Definitely.
interested in him, you think?
I think so. If they get relegated, I think there's a definite chance that, you know, there's a player there who's England international who wants to do well, who sees himself at a better club than Everton. Yes, I would love to see somebody like Calvert-Lewin at Newcastle.
Okay, this is interesting.
Just my opinions, of course. My
Yeah,
opinions.
of course. Iki Tiki.
Oh yes, definitely. You know, he's a young kid. He's got so much promise. If we don't move for him, I think we'll regret it. I think we would regret it. I think, yeah, he's got so much potential.
All right. Any player we didn't mention and you heard of him or you want him, or you hear of him with your friends and sources and stuff?
The only other player that I'm hearing a lot about is Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seemed to me
he will be the defensive midfielder that we need.
Yes,
you
but it seemed that West Ham will make Declan Rice captain, and they want to keep him for another year. So Manchester City have their eyes on Phillips.
Yeah, but will Phillips want to go to Man City, knowing that he's going to sit on the bench?
Man United
to sit on the bench. But Phillips, is he going to be the sort of player who fits in with Man United?
Yes, and he lives in Leeds, I think, so it's close to.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's Leeds, right? Leeds and Man United. No way. Leeds and Man United just don't happen, mate. Newcastle, Sunderland players don't happen. Leeds, Man United don't happen. Liverpool, Man United don't happen. If Calvin Phillips goes to Man United, I'll be very surprised. I'd be very surprised.
All right, so don't miss our show, soon to be tuned, which is going to be very soon, and hopefully, inshallah, first episode in 24th of May. After 20 days, hopefully, this show will have like 5-minute daily with the update before the sky. Okay, so we'll move to the any other player, Dave?
Any other players?
No. Have you heard any rumors?
No. It's
Newcastle rumors.
Just these stupid things that you see on news now. Just players who've just got no.
Every day, every single day.
Yeah, and you just don't pay them any attention, وليد. You know what I mean? You don't pay them any attention. If there was something concrete, it'd come along. The best thing for us to do is wait until after the final game of the season, when the real stories start coming out of players who we've contacted, players who we're making bids for. That's when we'll hear the real stories. And I think, you know, for our shows that are going to come up, soon to be tuned, I think that's when we will see the real players who we are going to be looking at and we're going to be trying to sign. Whether we'll get them or not, but again, there'll probably be 1,200 names that we're going to sign. We'll probably have more potential signings for Newcastle than there is players in the Premier League. You know, we'll sign everybody. We'll have more players on the books than what we know what to do with. So,
So in the show, Dave, let's make some kind of betting. You know, it's not like the haram betting. We'll do some funny betting. You know.
Yeah.
Because first bet for me, Lingard will sign for Newcastle. We'll see. That's a bet. First bet.
Right. Okay. I think Haaland will sign for Newcastle.
Haaland?
Yeah.
Haaland already City player now.
No, he's not. He's got a 65 million pound release clause.
Yeah, they will pay that.
Man City have triggered that. So Man City will discuss that. Yeah, Man City's got more chance of signing him because they've got Champions League football. They can offer him a bit more money. But if it comes down to money, we can offer money. But it comes down to football.
I know, but it's unfortunately in these kind of players, it's need more than the money at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
But, okay, so we'll see who will win the best.
Yeah, but if we want to talk hypotheticals, Lingard, I wouldn't have Lingard. I can't
it's
see
not like I want him, but it's this is I think it's going to happen.
Honestly, I can't see us going for Lingard. I can't see us going for Lingard. He was a player who we would have gone for to keep us in the Premier League. He's not a player to take us forward. He's not a player to take us forward in the next 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, but Dave, West Ham want him and to play good with them and
get himself away. And that's where he wants to play. If West Ham want him and that's where he wants to play, then good luck to him. I want to be aiming higher than that. I want to be aiming for us to be aiming.
No. What I meant that West Ham was in 5 positions standing table, and they want they took him to get in the 5th and 4th place. So this is West Ham see he's good enough for 5th and 4th place, which we are gonna want this next season.
Owlid, if he had been playing so well for a team who are in 5th or 4th, who are going for 5th or 4th position next season, then do you not think you'd stay at Man United? Because that's what Man United are going to aim for.
Fair enough.
Why would he want to move? Why would he want to move to London? Yes, he's a London boy. You know what I mean? But the fact is,
he want to play. He want to play in the World Cup. He want to be in the lineup. So
he's not going to be in the World Cup. Not now. There's too many players ahead of him now. You've got Harry Kane, the players behind him. You'll have, if anybody, you're going to have. I've just forgot his name. It's just Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin's going to be behind. Going to be in front of Lingard because Calvert-Lewin's played more games than what Lingard has. Lingard's hardly played a game this season. So no, Lingard wouldn't get a game for me. And Rashford's going to be there as well. Rashford's going to be ahead of Lingard, even though Rashford hasn't been playing very well. But Rashford plays well for England. There's other players who are there.
We'll wait. Fair enough. We'll wait and see. Dave, we'll see. Okay, let's go for a question quickly. Who do you fancy win tonight? I fancy English final as Dave. For me, same as you. I want City, but I believe Real Madrid will win.
I want City through tonight, and I want City win the final. Yeah, I agree with Tom. From what I've seen, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. 4th league. Sure.
4th league. The fact is they got 22,500 supporters for a 4th league game. They won't get that every game. They'll not get every game, but it shows where the women's game is going in Newcastle.
Any news about sponsorship?
About your sponsorship? About the club sponsorship?
The club.
Well, I'll sponsor you, Owlid. I'll sponsor you, no bother. No, I think there's nothing on the horizon at the moment.
Usually when this is announced, is it after the season?
Well, what you'll normally find is the shirt sponsors will be announced just before the last game of the season, and there'll be a new strip comes out. And what they'll do is they'll use the new strip for next season in the last game of this season.
So will they play with the new one?
Yeah, if that was the case. But the thing is, we haven't heard anything. Normally, by now, you'd be hearing rumors about what type of strip you'd see. You'd be seeing all sorts of designs on the internet saying this is the new strip, this is the new sponsor, but you're not seeing any of that at the moment. And because you're not, suggests to me that the owners are reviewing everything. they're already saying that, you know, Castore, they are Liverpool supporters. Why would they want to sponsor Newcastle into a new season? Why would Newcastle want somebody who was a Liverpool supporter? To me, sponsorship-wise, for the strips anyway, I would look to going back to Adidas. If I could, I would go back to Adidas. They seem to understand what the fans like. Our best strips were always the ones that were designed by Adidas. Club-wise, I can't see Fun 88 continuing because the rules are changing next season regarding gambling companies. So we can't have a gambling company. So club sponsors will have to change. There's no mention yet, but my bet would be it would be Aramco. I can't say for definite, but you know, my thoughts, my own personal thoughts would be that it would be something linked to the Saudi takeover, whether that's Aramco.
But Dave, in your opinion, you think it's already done? We're just waiting the right time to announce?
Yeah. I think it's already done. It's just waiting for the right time. The fact is, we normally wait until the season is finished, where that contract is up to. But I would think, you know, this change is going to happen. I think, you know, whether it's the football strip sponsors, whether it's the ground sponsors, whether it's the club sponsors, this change is going to happen. We have to accept this change is going to happen. And it might not happen until the last game of the season or just after the last game of the season, when it would become a completely new ball game. We're a new club, we're a new owners. Going forward next season, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's start again. We've got new club sponsors, Saudi Air, whatever it is, you know, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, whether it's NEOM, whether it's you know, Aramco. I think there's a lot of changes coming our way, and I think we've got to be prepared that we are going to see a lot of changes to that side of things. And if it means better things for Newcastle, then you're not going to get many supporters, certainly from Newcastle, going against it. No, we've beforehand, where we've had Wonga, you know, Wonga was possibly one of the worst sponsors we've ever had. And the fans would refuse to wear it. They refused to wear the strip with Wonga on the front because of what Wonga actually stood for. You know, so we won't just accept anybody, but I think any new shirt sponsors linked with the old Newcastle regime, whether that's Adidas or Nike, great. Whether we've got new shirt sponsors, the club sponsors, whether that's Aramco or Saudi Air or NEOM or anything like that, I think that's going to be good for the football club. It's got to be seen to be being good for the football club.
Yeah, I think this topic will be solid topic, of course, after or maybe as you said at Burnley game among the transfer as well. Tom said, "Great, get shade, get promoted. Promoted to which league?"
I think they're being promoted to the National League North.
Oh, so still
they've got a chance to get into the National League next season. You know, so
yeah. Nelly says, "I prefer Rashford as well." Okay, yeah. We'll see, Nelly, if you're betting in the show. We'll see. We'll do some kind of betting funny thing. Trippier coming in soon. I said earlier his injury. I said that 3 months ago, 13 February, and nobody believed me. I said he will be off the whole season. Maybe we'll return last 2 games, but why? There is no rush to rush the player.
Yeah,
especially with strong games.
there's no rush, but he's in contention for a recall on Sunday. He's in tension for a recall on Sunday, so he might be on the bench on Sunday. Trippier.
Cool. Yeah, maybe play for a few minutes at the end to be ready, prepare himself. Of course, I would like to take Sterling, but I think Sterling want to play with World Cup, so I don't think he will leave soon. City, what do you think?
I think
he's number one player with Southgate.
Yeah, and there's a chance he might leave. He's not getting a regular game for Man City. He's not playing regularly. He might want to be away at the end of this season. I don't think that would affect his World Cup place. I think he's too much of a good player not to affect his World Cup place. I think he'd be okay with that. And I think if he comes to a team like Newcastle, I think it will only benefit him. Gives him a new spark. Jesus from Man City, I think he's another player that we might be interested in.
Yes.
Let's see what happens with him, because he's definitely leaving Man City. He said he's definitely leaving Man City this year. So it depends where he goes, but it looks like he may go abroad. He may go to Real Madrid, or he may go to Bayern. Jesus would be a good player. I would like to sign. He would be a great player, a great number 9 as well. Would we be able to get a number 9 shirt off Callum Wilson?
I don't think this will happen, and I think Wilson will stay, but
the number 9 shirt, yeah.
Maybe
that's the thing with everybody who signs for Newcastle. If they're a goal scorer, wants that number 9 shirt?
Of course, it's
wants that number 9 shirt.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Now it's the kickoff of Real Madrid and Manchester City. We have to analyze the game and help Eddie Howe for the game. Thank you, Dave, for your great input tonight, as usual. We'll see each other, inshallah, hopefully next week. What is it, Dave? You have any announcements?
No, that was from the memorial of our friend Christopher. That was his memorial letter from our friend Christopher. It was lying next to me on my computer on my desk, and I thought, that's Chris telling me something.
Yeah, I think
he's lying there. He's lying there next to us. So
maybe about the name of the show, we change it to any transparency. It's just for his own sake. We didn't like. We want to keep it as a memory, so that's why we changed the name to Soon to Be Tuned. Right, Dave?
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you for watching, and see you next week. How are the lads?
See you later, boys.